All right, Thursday pre-Christmas Eve.
Christmas
Whatever you
Eve.
call it. Yeah, just because all these freaking slackers are taking the day off, I'll be here. I don't know what they're doing. Everybody's gonna be sitting at home, twiddling their thumbs, looking for something to do.
That's exactly what I got planned.
It's the right thing to do, Chris. Take care of the people that take care of you. That's my new motto.
There you go.
Twiddle time, you know?
Yeah,
Twiddle time.
I say let's work 7 days a week, 10 hours a day. Let's go.
And the whole business will be on fire.
Yeah, they just burn it all down. Let's burn it all down. Let's burn the candle out in the first 5 minutes instead of enjoying the ride. I don't like enjoying the ride. I like just go full out, full bore. No, so we won't be here tomorrow. We're going to take the day off, take the weekend off, and then we'll have another slacker week next week, and then they'll take that weekend off, New Year's. Then we're going to New Year's resolution. I'm going to get in shape. Going to lose 50 pounds. My hair's going to start growing back. It's going to be great.
There you go.
I'm looking at the new Sonic catalog. It's just, we need to cut these apart and figure out our packages. We need to adjust those a little bit. And
They added some new stuff.
well, yeah, and some of the stuff that I had in my package they don't make anymore, and so what we do is I cut out all these little foam inlays. We cut them out and move them around and figure out what's the best system.
Well, while you're looking at it, we have a question here from DJ Palumbo. Good afternoon, guys. I was looking at the Sonic tools on your site,
Yep.
and it looks like all the wrench sets are just metric. Are there plans to have SAE as well?
There's only a couple of SAE options, but there are I think a couple. Yeah. So there's let me see as I look through the catalog here. There is a small, a medium, and a large. I think
Just like one of each?
Just SAE. Yeah. The one you want is it's item number 603101. That's the main metric wrench, and that's a medium-sized, and that's the main one. I don't think they have a large version of that. Let me see. Does this catalog even have all that stuff? I feel like I'm missing some pages here. But yeah, that's the tricky part.
All right, let's see here what we got going. Oh, we already got a couple super chats. That's good. So let me get to this question from Dan Myers first here. Hey, Matt, have you had any experience with Focal, if that's how it's pronounced? If so, how does the sound signature compare with Dyne Audio?
Yeah, I do have a lot of experience with them. I don't like them at all. So Focal is a very clean-sounding speaker, but it's very, very bright in comparison to, say, a Dyne Audio, which is very middle-of-the-road, very subdued sounding. I am particularly sensitive to high frequency stuff. They even Focal Utopia, the stuff just sounds so thin. They use like beryllium, they use aluminum, they use a lot of metal dome stuff. I just, even the really high end, I forget what their line of the ones that they have one pair that kind of like bends inward. I forget what the model line is, but I think that might be the Home Utopia stuff. I just don't like their drivers. Really beautiful speakers. I just don't like how they look. Yeah. Sorry, I don't like how they sound. I like how they look. Yeah, I think, I just think Dyne Audio is in a different class than those. They're Focal has much higher end, much more expensive speakers, but it's just a different sound signature. It's hard to explain without listening to it, but I think most people would prefer, if you did like a blind listening test, that you'd prefer it.
Let's see here. We've got some timely questions here in the chat. This is good. Let's see. From Stephen Oliver, what's the holiday hours for the OG campus? I'm on a 2-week vacation. I would stop by to say hello and shop for some goodies. Yeah, so we're closed tomorrow, but open Monday through Thursday next week from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Yep. And
then the following week, it's back to normal, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30 every day. So there you go. Let's see. Anyone? Hey, Matt, have you used Sonax Clearview window washer fluid?
No, I have not.
Add it to the list.
Don't know what to say. That's all I kind of know. I haven't used that one. No, I haven't.
Let's see. Jeffrey wants to know, hey, Matt, have you seen the new Mercedes GT? If so, what are your thoughts on it?
No, I didn't see that either.
Yeah,
I'm not very up on anything here
too
today.
Much Heartland.
I got no Answers to anything. Now, I've been watching the Tom Brady 6-part series on ESPN Plus. It's pretty
Man
good.
in the Arena or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, I've been watching that.
Let's see here. We'll get to the E92 questions in a little bit here.
Okay.
From David Peck. Any word on when you receive the center lock power tool? I've done a pre-purchase and I'm waiting for it. Great question, David.
What do you think? Do you know?
I do not know. We placed the PO. We're waiting for the order.
Yeah, maybe check with those guys. It should be any day. We should have them like any day. So I'm hoping shortly. I want to get the car up on the lift and show you that, show you how the actual center lock program works. I didn't know it had it when I made the video, and Jamie's like, oh yeah, it's got the center lock program. You just got to go into the menu system. So the beauty of the center lock program is you just hold the thing down, it tightens, backs it off, quarter turn, retightens, so it does the whole procedure by just holding the button. It's super cool. I freaking love that thing. It's so awesome. And it creates some excuses to use it.
We have a couple super chats to get to here. First, from Mark Rogers, 1.79 pounds sterling. Did you go to Adam's event?
Yeah, I was
weekend?
there. I was there for a couple 3 hours in the morning, something like that, and then bailed. Started to get hot. My milky white skin started to get. I put some 50 sunblock on, but as I felt my skin started to melt off, we bailed. And Mike took me. We went to Costco. And been to Costco in probably 15 years. I've been there maybe once, maybe twice in my life, and went there on Sunday. This is an East Colonial University, on the east side of town,
Orlando.
much more crowded side of town. At 1 p.m.
That's bad time.
It was like
Post-church crowd.
Cattle herd. Yeah, it was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. And then. Yeah, it was crazy. It's freaking people. It's just I got to see how the rest of the world is.
What did you buy anything?
I bought some lobster bisque.
Like 5 gallons of lobster bisque?
No, like like the little. It's like a 2-pack of like the tub of lobster bisque. It's like so out of all the stuff there, that's the only thing I got.
Let's see, our tall friend here, Chase T. Meyer, wants to know, will you have a house planning video soon? Architect meetings seem like they would be cool to see.
Yep. We just have to capture a couple more shots, and that should be out here very shortly.
Another super chat from Improved Garage, $4.99. Let's see. First mods, the new E92 M3. Chrome rims and suspension setup for maximum stance. Blue tint. And a nice professionally installed graphene coating. That's his thoughts.
Yeah, people are going to be so disappointed. Like, you're going to do it the same that you did it. Yeah, there's one best way to do it, dumbos.
From Michael G. Super chat, $1.99 US. Do you invest in the stock market?
Yes. Maybe he's new here, but I spent 15 years of my life investing not only my own money, but everybody's money in the stock market. When I worked for Merrill Lynch and then Raymond James. Yes, but I do not do it in the sense that he's probably asking, which is pretending like I know what I'm doing and buying individual companies. I hire a guy and I pay him 1% a year to not have to touch it, not have to look at it, and he employs some boring asset allocation to it. And I have no idea what returns I've made the last couple of years. Don't know, don't care, and that's it. That's what you should do too. Unless you're going to become obsessed, and that's going to be your thing. Like, unless you're willing to go to the level that I've gone into in detailing, right? So traveling around, learning from experts, spending, hours and hours and days learning about and discovering, and all these jokers that have a Robinhood account that say, well, Tesla looks like a good buy, I think I'm going to get it. That's freaking stupid. I never once bought or recommended an individual stock for a client. I've managed hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars for people. Unless you're going to immerse yourself in that's your life, forget it. You're doomed to fail. Well, man, you don't understand. I made blah, 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 blah. Anybody could make anything in when the market is substantially rising. Now, I'd like to see you have the balls to hang on to it when it loses 40%. That's coming, at some point. So sorry to pick on him, but I'm making up this whole story behind it. But yeah, unless it's your thing, like I always say, you shouldn't be like haphazardly dealing in rentals. Like you got to get into it. You got to like make it your job, your life, your passion. You don't just haphazardly start trading, foreign currencies. Like even if you're into it, it's your whole thing. Your odds are still pretty slim of doing really well. So I say, take the stocks and punt and like just hire somebody. And the flaw in the system is you can't hire anybody till you have money, right? And have a bunch of it. And so it's a little bit odd, and then you don't need anybody because you've figured out how to make it. So it's a weird system.
We've got a comment here from what appears to be a female, actually, in the chat. This is good. From Deborah Valdez. Going back to your New Year's resolution. Whatever Matt uses for hair growth for this next year, please sell it on OG so I know it's legit. Got to honor the source. We're working on it, Deborah.
If only that's so funny. People are like, you need to take this or that. I'm like, if it were that easy, then everyone would just do it. It doesn't freaking work. There's no such thing. Yeah, it's so funny. Like, Matt, you need to take, I get this email or these messages, you need to take blah, 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 blah. I'm like, it doesn't work. Get out of here. I wish.
We got a super chat, $9.99 US. RCH Rest, or Archrest, maybe. I was considering getting the Ego Stubby. I ordered gutter cleaning kit for Ego, and surprisingly comes with a stubby-like attachment. Have you seen it? Merry Christmas, guys.
I think it's a little weird, isn't it? I don't know.
We'll look it up here in a second.
Somebody had suggested that to me before. Can't like it now because then we won't be able to sell our Ego.
Too late.
Yeah, I don't think it does the same thing.
Taryn J says, since Sonic Tools is running a 15% off sale, do you think they push those savings onto OG customers?
No, we can do the same thing, but just email Kyle, design at Obsessed Garage.
I think we have something. There's a one of these.
Ours is attached to the cabinets you buy. Cabinets and
$10,000 and get 2,500 in tools.
Correct.
There you go. That's 25%.
It's hard to keep up because they run some weird sales occasionally, and we can always match it. But you just have to hit us up directly. For us to go and revamp the site and all that every time they decide to do something like that, it's kind of hard to do.
K-Series Joe says, is the EM1 Civic Si the only Honda you've ever owned?
No, I had a 99 Si. Michelle had a 02 or 01 Accord, which when we got married, I guess technically owned as well. I had a 02 AP1 S2000. I had a 07 AP2 S2000. I've had a 06 AP2 S2000. I've had a 2009 SCR S2000. And Acura and Integra RSX Type S, which is a Honda. I think that's it.
It's an 08 Club Racer.
08 CR, yeah. Okay.
So, no, that's the answer. It's not the only one. Improved Garage, $9.99 Super Chat. My MSS cabinets arrived this week. I'm wall mounting uppers using 1x6 furring strips.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah.
Does Sonic make a wall bracket for mounting uppers to studded drywall?
No. You have to modify, do it yourself like that, where you build a little furring strip or something. So all their system is just designed for the modularity of putting it together in one piece. Using the back pieces and the wire pipes. So you can certainly mount it. There's holes in the back. You mount it to the wall. You just have to figure that out.
Christian Cusack in the chat says, hey, Matt, what indoor car covers do you use? Looking to get one for my F80 M3.
For Porsches, I always buy the Porsche one because I feel like the wing would be hard for the aftermarket to get right, which I'm sure somebody in the aftermarket makes it for Porsche. But I always like Cover King. And if it's just indoor, Cover King Satin Stretch is awesome. That's what I have for my E92. I need to get one for the E36 as well.
Let's see. Matt in the chat says, will you do a reserve your spot for the sweatshirts that are sold out? Possibly, but they're so far out, it's kind of, we're not sure yet.
Yeah, they've got nothing.
Yeah. We're restocking all the shirts in a timely manner, but we cannot get more of the hoodies, sadly, right now. So we don't want to drag it out for months and months and months. So that's why that's
Yeah, and then we get them in midsummer, and you're like, well, I don't want it anymore.
Yeah. Also, and that goes to our friend Martin's super chat here, Alligator Window Tint, $4.99. The 100-foot power cord show sold out. Will they be coming back so I can reserve my spot? At some point, but they were, when we ordered them, they were 17 to 18 weeks out, and that was an optimistic outlook. So that's why those are listed as sold out. Lil Homie 86 says, hey Matt, any recommendations for a shower head? I'm looking to replace my leaking shower head.
Newport brass.
Hold on.
Yeah, you can dig in a Newport brass. That's the one I have. They make them cool. So that's the ones I replaced all in my house. Another company makes great ones are Rohl, R-O-H-L. The problem with shower heads is you don't want a freaking plastic one. I hate that plastic junk. The only two I've ever found that aren't plastic is Rohl, R-O-H-L, and which you won't like. You know, they think they start at like $1,200 or something like that.
Mark that one off the list.
And Newport brass, which
All right,
they'll be like
one.
$100 and up. You know, 100 to 1,000.
That's a big gap. All right, I can do that. $100. Let's see. Frank L says, any luck with the Gen 3 Raptor yet? How much are dealers trying to get over MSRP?
Not even trying. They can, you know what, and
Pound sand.
yeah, I'll just sit tight and wait.
Question from our friend out in Oregon, Jeff Johnson. He has a Christmas question for you. Open stockings first before presents or after?
No, after for sure. Yeah.
My in-laws open their stockings after, and it makes me not trust them.
No, definitely after. It's junk. It's a bunch of tchotchkes. I want the good stuff. So I
do first.
I've been supporting
Jeff.
the Nike brand. Michelle's pulled this fast one on me, so I didn't anticipate this. You know, I'm doing my normal buying random stuff whenever I darn well feel like it.
Lots of shoes.
And so the other day I bought 3 new pairs of shoes. I did some Metcon 7s by you. You know, I designed them myself. I should be a freaking designer because I'm amazing at this. Like these shoes. Like, check these out. These are sick. So I designed these. So these are Pegasus 39s by you. So, and these I designed on my own. Yeah, I love these things. So I ordered another pair that I designed. I did them in teal, and then I did a pair of Metcon 7s, which I did in a very similar blue with no yellow, and blue and black. And then I ordered another pair of something else, some trail running shoes or something that came out. And then I ordered a bunch of shorts, and I get these like I need to update my frickin' all the stuff I have is falling apart, and so they started showing up, and so what I didn't know is Michelle's been sniping them and wrapping them and putting them under the tree. She's throwing off my whole game, so she keeps sniping stuff, and so I don't have any new shorts and all this new stuff. I'm like, where is this stuff going? Like, because I have so much stuff coming, I haven't even really been checking the tracking on it.
Keep up with.
Yeah, and then it just can't. That's the fun of it, and then it just shows up. She's been sniping all these things. I bought some like cookbooks and some beef jerky, and she sniped that, and then realized I'm like, "Where's my freaking beef jerky?" She's like, "Oh, I took it and wrapped it." I'm like, "What do you? No, I need that. I need to eat it." So, yeah, she didn't even open the boxes. She just started wrapping stuff. Yeah, this is backfired on me. I need to start sending it back here to the garage.
Yeah.
The problem is, then I send it here to the garage, and everybody sees all the stuff I'm buying. I don't like that. Yeah, so I need to. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need to figure out. I need to get a post office box, something like that.
Let's see. We have lots of people chiming in here that stockings. They agree with me and with Jeff that stockings go first. It's like an appetizer. You got to build up.
That's stupid. No,
you just need better.
I don't
stockings,
even want the stocking. Just throw it away. I want freaking toothpicks and Mentos, some socks. It's such filler, such nonsense. I don't want any of that.
You got to get a better stocking builder at your house, I think. Yeah. All right, let's see. Recommendation for any wall mounts for Emit 10s that I purchased from you from DPV here.
Emit 10s, yeah, you want the WSB mounts. Actually, I just made a video for them yesterday. We have them in stock. They make them in black or white, but it's Dynaudio WSB. I want to say they're like $350 a pair. They're pretty stout. That's what I would get. They're made specifically for them. The only thing to keep in mind emits, evokes. They don't have a threaded insert, so you drill into the bottom of the speaker. So it might mess with your head a little bit, but you do need to you screw into the bottom so that it's like a permanent install.
Let's see. Oh, Ken Jeeper he's really brave here. He does stockings on Christmas Eve. I haven't heard that before. From Jonathan Wang, any plans to go to BMW Invasion in February? And if you are, will you have a booth?
Yes and yes. Wait till you see what I got planned. Oh boy, it's big. It's
February
awesome.
19th in Orlando.
Yes. I'll start talking about it here soon.
All right. Jeff Johnson says, gentlemen, send me an email. All right, we'll send you an email, Jeff. Maybe we'll get some. Matt has plenty of shoes. He doesn't need any more shoes.
Yes, I do.
Good afternoon. Merry Christmas, Sean and Matt and Chris. Thanks, Sean. All right, let's see. Yep. P.O. Box for my beef jerky. Wrapping beef jerky. Lots of good stuff there. Improved Garage, $4.99, says, Merry Christmas to the OG crew. Thanks, Improved Garage.
Christmas is almost here. Ryan's birthday's on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's tough.
My son's birthday's Christmas, and he gets, he's leveraged that to get nicer stuff.
All right, let's see. Justin Farnham says, Matt, I'm curious as to your thoughts on Moduline cabinets. More concerned with durability as I have a service truck with a lot of tools that are fairly heavy.
I'm sure durability is fine. They're aluminum. These are aluminum cabinets. I'm very familiar with them. It was, that was the cabinet. Either one of those or Lista until I got the bill when I was, younger. I was like, oh my gosh, $22,000 or something like that for my garage. That's when I ended up with Sabre. Moduline's nice. It's a skinned aluminum, so they put it's like a laminate that they put on top of the aluminum stuff for the color. I don't love the drawers lock. I don't love the drawer glides. I don't love aluminum cabinets if I have the choice. I'd prefer the less expensive steel. The problem with steel, especially if you're traveling or if you have big humidity shifts or you have salt and stuff that tends to splash up on cabinets. My buddy Joe brought this up to me. He said, you guys don't have to think about it down here, but you have a steel cabinet and it can rust over time, whereas an aluminum never will. So there are some pros and cons to aluminum. The thing I don't love about it is again, they're light. It's a much lighter material. So especially if you do aluminum top, it's just not super robust. I tend to prefer other cabinets, but the Moduline stuff sure is beautiful.
Let's see. James Clark, our big-headed friend James, says, I'm loving the Atlanta Garage build-out series. What's the one thing you learned that you want to take from the garage and put in the new home garage? Merry Christmas, Matt and Chris. Thanks, James.
I don't know. I have to think about that. I learned a lot of things. About size and scale. I learned that I don't want it 50 feet deep so I'm going to build it 30 feet deep.
Why not 50?
It's just
too big.
Yeah, it feels really, really big. I like the other thing. It has really, really tall ceilings, which I kind of knew this before, but I really like the what it feels like when your ceiling isn't so tall. So I'm going to do 12-foot ceilings. I don't know that I learned as much as it was just fun to see everything go together in one spot. The other thing, it sort of convinced me to just do ductless systems instead of doing a full AC system. I've got some just some confirmation to some things, but the sizing was what helped me most. Was sort of getting a feel for what's 50 by 100 feel like. I'm building a 60 by 30, 60 wide, 30 deep, and then my wash bay is another roughly 30 by 30.
Technically Awesome on Instagram says, will you be buying Mike F. his Miller wheelbarrow for the holidays this year?
Apparently you can't get one, so I guess not.
Searched high and low, couldn't find one. Let's see. Mason Stamps wants to know, will you ever do a Porsche Experience Center delivery?
Maybe. I don't have any plans for one at the moment, but maybe someday.
Million Marcus says, how does Matt feel about Cambridge audio players, integrated amps, and receivers?
They're pretty good. I don't have a lot of experience with them. I know they've been one of the companies to embrace this transition toward converting integrated amplifiers into a digital analog converter and just make it a streamer. So again, I don't have a lot of experience with listening to the products. I'm familiar with them. I think you're getting a decent product for the cost, but I don't. I haven't listened to a lot of the stuff, really any of their stuff.
Good question from Jason Wallace on Facebook. What is the best way to care for the batteries with my new Milwaukee tools?
According to the Battery Innovation Center, they should be kept in the 50 to 80% range. So don't do what I do, which I just charge them all up to 100% and try to keep them there. And I'm constantly cycling batteries. So you don't want to discharge the battery completely, and you don't want to have it. You don't want to just worry about it keeping it fully charged. So lithium-ion batteries do the best when you keep them in that 50 to 80% range. They also do best when if you're going to be doing like a big project, if you're worried about it, if you're using like a hammer drill and you're just drilling concrete and you're doing using a long duty cycle, using it a lot, you're going to be better off. You want to swap batteries to keep the heat out of them. Now, Milwaukee's have their internal circuitry to make sure that they're managing that heat and managing output. But if you really wanted to leverage the longevity of the batteries, keep them 50-80%, and don't let them heat up. Those are the two things you could do with those batteries. I just let it ride, and they have 3-year warranties. So if you had an issue, the question, if you want to last a lot longer than that, then you could micromanage them and keep them in good shape.
Justin, who asked the question about the lightweight stuff. Thank you for the input. Lightweight will help as the truck weighs 26,000 pounds already. Mm-hmm. Merry Christmas, gentlemen. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, I mean, that's where they're so great.
Let's see. Sean T says he highly recommends the Porsche Experience delivery up in Atlanta. Driving a GT3 close to your limits on a track and then driving home is an unreal experience.
Yeah, I don't like close to my limit. I've been to the delivery center many times. I just haven't taken delivery of my own car there. And, of course, you don't drive your own car. You drive their car, and then you take delivery of yours and take it home.
Bring Your Wood Screws says, Matt, I made a post on the OG page looking for ideas on shading my driveway. My thoughts were large triangular shade sails. Your thoughts or any other ideas to cast some shade on the driveway?
Yeah, I've never really thought about that. I mean, other than build a bigger, taller house, maybe. I don't know.
Kind of like they have on playgrounds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those giant things.
What do they call those things? That like the little pergola? Is that what it's called? Where they have like that? It's not a roof, but it's just beams, open beams. Yeah, I don't know. I never really thought about that. Let me know if you figure something cool out.
I think you'll appreciate this question from Joe McDonald's wife on Facebook.
Yeah, I like that.
She says, Dear Matt and Chris, all caps, save my marriage.
Okay.
I have been watching OG podcasts with my husband Joe. Sorry, Joe's wife. His garage has been transformed. We've been married 46 years.
Okay.
Congratulations. And now my husband is messing with my washer and dryer settings.
Ah, okay.
Does Michelle gripe about this issue? Who washes your microfiber towels? Should Joe buy me a new washer dryer and take the old ones to the garage? Help.
So first, no, he cannot put the washer and dryer in the garage. That will ruin the whole thing, ruin the whole ambiance. Unless you have a closet or you have a somewhere to put it, you can't put the washer and dryer in the garage. And no, you can't just stack them up and put them in a corner. It's still not going to work. You can't have you mess up the garage. So yes, I do wash, but my problem is I want the washer and dryer. Michelle always. 100% of the time if I go to it, there's always something in there. And it's always wet and just sitting there. And it probably has to be washed again. So we've probably, used an extra 1 million gallons of water over the years by doing this. So, yeah, you're screwed. You're just going to have to, you just pay attention to your settings. And then just go and fix it. But, it would be really helpful. What's helpful for him, I guarantee you this. If you kept the washer and dryer devoid of things sitting in there, he'll be in and out before you even know it. Most of the time, we're not even there. But you just have to, remember your settings, because on our towels we need to wash heavy duty. We need to wash with an extra rinse cycle, cold, and then in drying we need to dry on delicate, and so that probably messes up like the regular, cold water setting, and then regular setting, the most people use for clothes, and regular dry setting on the dryer. But yeah, just if you keep it clean in there, keep it organized. This is why my goal in life is to have a laundry specialist in my, take care of this. Then I won't have to. I'm going to get my own washer and dryer in my garage, but I'm building a whole room just for that. That has nothing to do with messing up my walls or anything. So yeah, I'm sorry to say, unless you have the square footage for it, I'd say the best solution would be to go buy a new house and let them design a garage from scratch. We'll design that for you. That's what you should do.
There you go, Joe's wife. Hope that helps. Let's see, where is that question? Oh yeah, from AJ Shanks on Instagram. He wants to know, hey Matt, where do you currently stand with cars owned outright versus those with financing?
That's it, like 50-50, something like that. Half have a balance. I think that they all have equity in them, but 50-50. We were just talking about it. I messed it up. We had a plan to just make that 100% owned. It just depends on how what I'm feeling coming up, expense wise, and whether we finance it or not, or what the interest rates look like. All the notes that we have are under 4%, which is pretty cool. And so usually I can take that money and buy some inventory or do something else with it, and just hold the note. But yeah, it's like half and half. And there have been times where we had one loan and all owned outright, and times where I've had them all financed. It just depends on what's going on. Financing a car is not a bad thing. Many times it's a good thing to do if you can make more money off of that money that you've borrowed. So car loans are a great place for me to use to have leverage. Car loans, and then like I own my house outright, but then we have a note on the building up north. It just depends.
Steve M says, hey Matt, what's the best way to remove track day melted rubber from paint and PPF? Thanks and Merry Christmas.
Carpro Tarex. If you have PPF, I'd spray the Tarex on the towel.
Yeah, be careful.
And just be careful with that. But Carpro Tarex works really well on that.
We got a super chat here from Yoshi, $20. Ooh, a question for Chris. This will be good.
Okay.
How do you feel about Matt's new six-figure M3 that he's building exactly the same as his current M3 and is really only a different shade of blue? That's a great question, Yoshi. If we can make six figures plus one, then I'm happy. That's good.
Yep.
Plus $1 million would be better. But
how does he know it's six figures? I may have gotten a deal.
That's true. He might have.
Yeah.
Let's see. Christopher Baker, Super Chat, $4.99. Tell us more about the E92 mods that we will see.
It's going to look exactly the same as the current one. Even cherry intake. So just to cue you guys in, I'm saving this for. We'll talk more about it next week. I just want to get the deal done first. But I'm looking to get the 800-mile Interlagos E92 from EAG. And then we're looking to do a giveaway in February on my E92, which means I'm going to buy even cherry intake, American Racing headers and exhaust, Olin's road and track, and basically all the exact same stuff, just newer, nicer, neater. I already reached out to AMX Performance for a custom BMW Performance or Recaro Sportsters. Yeah, it's gonna be sweet.
Ryan says, "Did you ever settle with a lady who didn't want the cookies for the gift card?" Haha.
Well, we found on the podcast a couple weeks ago that she did.
She did buy it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we got this package yesterday. It was addressed to me, but I think it's intended for you. So there are these two hats in there. I think the giver of these hats is probably watching this. The first one says, "Accept the cookies," in quotation marks, and then the quote is attributed to Paul M. Ahundo. So Paul Mahundo.
That's a good name. That's even my alter ego.
Palma Hundo.
I thought that was the guy. I didn't even see that part.
No, Palma Hundo.
I thought it was like Paul Ahundo.
No, that's pretty good.
That's genius.
Clever, yeah. And it's a dad hat, so maybe Mike T will be interested in wearing these. And then this one came along with it. It's kind of hard to see because of the colors here, but it's turtle wax, but it's spelled Turdle. So turtle wax.
You don't want to worry about. You don't want to mess with the copyright infringement.
Yeah, that's true. They might come after us.
Yeah, in the pukiest brown, green puke hat.
Yeah, with red letters. That's good. So thank you to the generous donor out there.
I might wear that. Give me that Palma Hundo hat.
Like
that
this
cool.
is pretty good. Yeah,
I should put this on. Yeah, this won't fit your head anyway.
It's probably true.
I appreciate that.
All right,
it's a gift that keeps on giving here.
We're going back to a week or two ago. Christopher Financial Group asked us about the $300 a month vacation home lease question. Recall that one? We found the Corolla TRD or something like that. We're trying to find him a good car lease for $300 a month.
Mm-hmm.
He says we got a 2021 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sport with Freedom hardtop for $262 a month, 48 months, $10K per year. The perfect vacation house car. There you go.
Very good.
Good thinking. Yeah, that is fun on vacation. Take the top off, doors off. Oh, yeah.
This is totally my color. It makes me look like my head is naked.
There you go. You got to wear that in any more videos you're doing today. James Clark, did I see correctly that you'll have 3 washers and dryers in the new house? All Speed Queens, I'm assuming.
Yes, I've been considering the Miele commercial. It's just they just don't use any water. I find it hard to believe it's going to work. The thing that's really interesting to me is doing dryer, doing a heat pump dryer. That way you don't have to have a vent. That way you don't have to cut a hole and mess with the sealed envelope that I'm going to have. So I've been looking at the Miele. There's a professional version. It's like $8,000 for the set or something like that. The other thing I've been looking at is like the Speed Queen Professional, like the stuff that's made for like laundromats and things. Well, they make a non-coin operated version, and those are something I'm interested in as well.
It'd be better if it was coin operated. You have to put the coins in every time you want to do it. Let's see. From Joseph McDonald. His wife. Oh, this is his wife. She signs it. Fran is her name.
Okay, so she got a little more context for me.
Mm-hmm. She says no. Well, now she says, wait a minute. I thought I might be getting a new washer and dryer. Why is it my fault to check the settings? Don't give me any ideas about a new garage.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to get a new washer and dryer, then you're going to get a Speed Queen, or possibly the Miele stuff. Tell her to go look. Go to Miele.
Miele.
Miele, and then go to washer and dryer, but then click over to the professional side. That's what you want. It's a paltry sum of like $500 for the combo, something like that.
But then just put the coin operated in there. You'll make it back in like 20 years.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then she says, love you guys. Merry Christmas to you all, Fran. Thanks, Fran. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Jeff, our own Jeff D. Jeff, the emailer, says, Matt looks like he owns a C8 Corvette with that color hat.
That's good.
Hey, Matt, just picked up a low-mileage 2007 S2000 in Plant City. What do you recommend doing first, aside from changing fluids? Any mods that you would recommend? Loved your CR.
You want to probably paint correct it and coat it first. Get it cleaned up, get the leather clean, get the color lock stuff. You want to do a strong cleaner, and then with a brush, and then you want to put some leather protection cream, and then top that off with some leather shield. To get the shininess out of the leather on the seats if you can. So you might have to work at that quite a bit with the brush. And then intake is cool on that car. You get like the Mugen intake, and then I chase an exhaust. What exhaust did I have? The Toyota exhaust. There's quite a few cool exhausts. Trying to find Mugen stuff anymore for that. I don't think they're really making much of it. But you definitely want an exhaust, and then you want a suspension and all that stuff.
And you also got to snip the little gas thingy. Don't forget that.
Right. The leash.
Let's see. Matt Hoon says that hat is the perfect hair loss solution. Just shave it off and cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Let's see. Nate says, I see the new E92 M3 was optioned with the power rear sunshade. Will you delete that if you get the car and lose some weight?
I don't know. I don't think there's much to it. But yeah, that's the one weird option. It's like you choose all the other good options, then it has the one weird power rear sunshade. Yeah. But I don't think it's that much. The motor's like a little baby motor. I don't think it's going to lose less than a pound.
Epiphany Detailing says, I might have missed this last week, but did you know that your E36 was in the background of Stradman's video when he went to visit his Lambo at the same shop?
Ooh, famous. No, I did not know.
I didn't know that. Let's see. Greg Hansel. Ooh, I was just thinking about this today, Greg. I'm glad you brought this up. Now that Mike F. is part of OG, will we see him once in a month on the Friday podcast? He would be a great ad. I was thinking next week, because I won't be here next week. Maybe you and Mike could finally do that interview.
There we go. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
We talked about doing for a long time. All right. Put that in the Friday report email. What is the deal with the custom install solution giveaway? More details, please, from Josh.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun. So it starts Jan 1. We have a really cool introductory video, and it'll be a really cool pre-roll ad that we'll run for it. You just buy anything in the store, anything you want. Everybody who's buying something from the store will get entries. And then I'm not sure Bryce will have all the rules worked out. It'll be all on the site when we launch it. And then the winner. So we're doing it where I'm going to do it live.
I'm going to draw the winner.
You're going to click the button.
Okay.
Tell me who to call. And call him. If he picks up and he has a garage and doesn't have a custom install or has a place we can put it, he wins. If he doesn't, on to the next person. I'm going to find someone that we can do. And then hopefully we can get a hold of a Krenzel pressure washer in short order. But and we're gonna pack our crap. Mike and I are gonna fly to your house and come hang out and build your pressure washer. It's gonna be sick.
There you go.
You're gonna point us to the local Home Depot or come with us if you want. We'll rent a F-150 and come up there and we'll ship the stuff up there, meet it up there, and come and install it. I'll shoot a little video. It'll be fun. That's the plan.
So is it one entry per anything, or is it just you buy something and you get one entry?
I don't know. I think it's one for every $5 you spend. You get one entry. And so every single person, whether you know you're entered or not, you're entered. So it's a little bit different type of giveaway. And I can do that because we don't have to bond because it's under $5,000. And so I don't have to get a bond in Florida. We just have to write the rules. And because it's public and we're advertising it, we have to still do they'll do all the legal stuff and post it. But it's going to be way cool. And then somebody's going to win a pressure washer.
So even if you buy a custom install, you can still get registered to win a custom install. Just got it for two. All right, Samuel from Facebook says, I think you mentioned you were going to make or are making inlet and garden hoses in-house. Mm-hmm. If so, roughly, when do you think that would happen or be produced?
Supposedly, we've got next week coming 3,000 to 5,000 feet, coming in. So I've just committed to buy 300,000 of Continental Frontier, 300,000 feet over the next year. So we're hoping, mid-January to have, 50,000 feet or so coming so we can start getting all of our garden hose stuff back in stock. So I'm hoping soon. So we're working on it, working very diligently on it.
And then any update on Cobra Jet pressure washer hoses for those of us who are waiting? Yes, they're coming in. I think we got some maybe today. If not today, then next week.
Yeah, sure. They're on the truck, so they should be going out here shortly.
Christopher Financial Group says, with that hat on, you look like the guy yelling, hey, you kids, get off my lawn. That's good. Improved Garage Super Chat, $4.99. Do you have a recommendation for a small compressor for garage where it isn't used a whole lot? California Air Tools, maybe.
I just don't like those. I think they used to be really decent in the past, but every California Air Tools air compressor I've ever touched has been broken or didn't work or just not any good. So I don't know, man. I haven't solved that yet. I'd be inclined to get one of the smaller Jennies, but those are still pretty stout. I'd get like a 2-horse or 3-horse Jenny, like a 60-gallon Jenny for $1,500-$1,800. You'll have that for the rest of your life, and that's a quality piece of equipment. The California Air Tools, I know it's so much simpler. And I think that the ones that we have, the Werthers, are really nice, but they're really expensive and they don't have a lot of output, so they won't do most things that people need done. So that's a very, very specific compressor. So I'm missing that kind of in between. But I'm telling you, California Air Tools are kind of janky. I always thought that would be my path. I'm going to partner with them, be able to buy those and retail them, and then every one I've ever touched has been a hunk of garbage. So, but I know some people have had a good success. That's an oil-less piston type compressor is what those are. So they're kind of semi-silent. They're pretty quiet, but they're not great compressors.
Josh Verdeek on Facebook says, is there any chance of getting more OG polo shirts? Love the t-shirts. A minimalist OG hex on an OG spec polo would be nice.
So many things to do. I'd like to have one too, yes.
It's on the list, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on that as well. Let's see. I had a question from Instagram. Here we go. From Dylan Chitwood. Hey, Matt and Chris, I'll be down in Orlando for MTE at the end of January. Mm-hmm. How do I go about getting a tour of the OG buildings while I'm there?
Just shoot us an email. Shoot it to Chris or me or anybody, and we'll get you set up. Sure.
Yeah, come on by.
Yep.
Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, or if you're here on the weekend, then call Matt for sure. We'll put his phone number out there for you. Oh, speaking of which, we have a phone number now. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. What is the phone number? How do you find it?
That's a good question. It's going on the website soon.
Yep. I think it's up there now. Let's look.
Let's see. Okay.
That's not the website. You got 55 tabs open. What the heck is wrong with you?
I got lots of work to do.
So maybe down the bottom, contact somewhere. About us, support.
Let's try support.
Yeah, we're not doing a good job of if we do have a phone number. Nope, not there. Go to.
I think I remember the phone number.
Go down to about maybe about us.
About us.
Yeah, no phone number there. So whatever we're doing,
there's pictures of all of us.
Maybe we haven't done it yet. We need to put it somewhere. But we're not going to answer the phone, so
it doesn't matter anyway.
The whole point is to get people to stop calling my phone number, and we're going to start, making sure that phone number shows up when people search. Just a phone number, just to explain why we don't have a phone number, and basically said, hey, thanks, appreciate you. If I were to have a bunch of, if I was to have a bunch of people answering phones, they're not going to know your answer. So what's the frickin' point? So instead, shoot us an email at support@obsessedgarage.com, and so that's going to be the way to go. It's a real nice message. I wasn't mean like I was planning to be, or mess with them and play the old, hello? Hey, this is Matt. What's going on? Hello? Anybody there? Yeah.
Speak up.
Can't figure that's already played out. Somebody's already done that.
Somar, or SOMAR197 on Instagram. Any plans to get into an Audi anytime soon? Surprised you haven't yet. Consider your love for German engineering.
No. I've had 3 of them. No, I don't want any more.
C. Costain says, any word on what became of any of your previous giveaway cars?
The M5's changed hands a couple of times. The 1M has changed hands a couple of times, from what I understand. The Civic, the original guy owns it, and it seems like he'll keep it for a long time. He really loves it.
Hayden Schnell says, hey Matt, what are your feelings on Volkswagen GTI? I have one currently, and I've been thinking about trading up to the next level. Any OG suggestions?
Yeah, I like that. I like those cars a lot. The next logical move would be to go to M3, I would think. I never took the GTI path. It was a little too much. I couldn't quite swing that, and so I always I did the S2000 path. But I think your next logical step would be to go to some version of an M3.
Let's see. Aharv30 says, can you please rant a little about people mounting their TVs way too high? I visit lots of homes this time of year. People have their TVs mounted 15 feet up their living room wall.
It's just unbelievable. It's just even my buddy Frank, who we sold home theater back in the day, and he has to kind of do what people want. And the new thing now is that goofy sliver of a fireplace. It's not really a fireplace. It's like a fake gas thingy. You know what I'm talking about? It's like that, and it's like long and skinny, and then they tile up the fireplace. That's like the latest thing, which is total garbage. At least if you're going to do a fireplace, make it out of stone or something useful instead of some fake bull crap. Some of them aren't even a fire. It's got like fake heat and like a fake digital looking flame. It's so stupid. And so then you mount your TV and they think they're doing good. Like, well, everybody else mounts their TV on the ceiling. So they only mount it at 80 inches high instead of 180 inches high. It's just how could you be an interior designer or a contractor or a home theater professional or any human and look at that and say, this is the ticket. All I want to do is sit on my couch and look at the freaking ceiling. Like, your couch is set up a certain way for a reason. Like, you should be looking straight. And people have this desire for some stupid fireplace. Matt, you don't understand. If you live in the north, it's nice to have a fireplace. So how often are you using the thing? Yes, there's like 13 of you in the entire United States that use it all the time. And then there are a bunch of people that's like how they have to heat their house. I get it. Put the fireplace somewhere else. Put that in the corner. Put it in another room. Put it in the kitchen. Put it in the freaking laundry room. Do something else with it. Why are you putting it right front and center in the only spot your TV can go? Well, I get it. A lot of people don't watch TV. I do. So it's important. So if you're not watching TV, then you'll put the TV somewhere else. Go put the TV in the laundry room. Put it in the closet. Put it in the bathroom. Put it anywhere. Don't put it above the freaking fireplace. It's the stupidest thing ever. So let's take the thing we use every single day for multiple hours a day, and let's put that up on the ceiling. But let's put the fireplace that we use once every millennia right smack middle of the room. It looks better. Talk about the definition of functional garbage. There's no function in that at all. Why does the fireplace need to be the most prominent thing? So guess what I'm doing? I'm building a frickin' 7,000 square foot house. Guess how many how many fireplaces I'm gonna have? 0. My interior designer, she's like, no fireplaces? Like, I live in Florida. The average temperature is 91. What do I need a fireplace for? We had those like goofy like gas fireplaces, and I turn it on, and all the kids are yelling, "It's too hot up here!" Because then the hot just races up to the upstairs. It's not even in the house. It's pointless. Freaking stupid. And then when you want to use it, like, okay, we're gonna have some people over, let's turn the fireplace on. It doesn't freaking work. And what are you gonna be out there splitting wood? You gonna get a wood splitter? This whole concept of you're chopping wood with an axe, it doesn't really work that way. It only works in like a certain type of really old, weathered wood. You need like a log splitter with a hydraulic splitter. You can't just go out and freaking chopping wood. It doesn't. You see that in the movies all the time. It doesn't work that way. You're trying to chop it, and the freaking axe, gets stuck 3 inches in there, and you're screwed. You got to get a sledgehammer. You're trying to get it out. It doesn't work that way. So stop this nonsense. And if you're going to buy wood at Publix, at the grocery store, they have those little. That's like the epitome of like nerd dad. You're a loser. You've got no man skills whatsoever. So you got to go buy a little baggie of wood. That's what you're going to do. Your fire at once every 6 months. You're going to do a fire. So stupid.
So there you go. You got your wish. Whoever asked that.
Like, why? You design a house from scratch. You're like, well, let's just put this goofy little sliver of gas fireplace and let's mount our TV at 19 feet in the air.
There you go. And Nate, or somebody else had a good point here. Where'd they go? Rob H, excuse me. People that mount their TVs high are the same people who sit in the front row of the theater.
No, they don't. Because they realize that, that's a stupid thing to do. Yeah, but they don't realize that when they're sitting at home watching, Law and Order on CBS or whatever. Those are the same people that watch CBS. Like, there's nothing on CBS you should be watching, ever. And then, well, they don't understand, Matt. NCIS Las Vegas is really good. Yeah, what are you, 90? Get out of here.
Granular Auto Spa has a super chat here, $4.99 US. I always catch the channel live when I can, while at work. Keep it up. Joyeux Noël. That's French for Merry Christmas, I just learned. The lift progress is looking thumbs up. So thank you, Granular Auto Spa.
Yep, it's looking good.
Brad Bacon says in the chat here, they made the phone number hard to find on purpose. Well, that's good. It's working so far. I don't think it's there anywhere, but we'll see. Super chat from Nate Marcy. $19.99 US. I purchased 6 4-bulb OG lights.
Okay.
They're great lights.
Yeah, they're nice.
I've installed them in different configurations. I know I need more, but I wanted your opinion on how many more I need and how you would configure them. Garage is 26 by 24 by 9.
Yeah, he probably needs 2 more. That's pretty intense at 9 feet with a 6 bulb when you're standing below. Oh, you got 4 bulbs. Okay, good.
Quantity 6 4-bulb lights. So he has 6 of them.
Yeah, I think that's all he probably really needs. I mean, maybe just spread them out a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, if I were speccing that out, I would do 6 4-bulb fixtures, and that, so if you spread them out a little bit more, it's probably too late now because there's holes in the ceiling and mounted. But maybe 2 more at the most, and just want to lay it out as symmetrically as possible.
All right, we have a super chat, $2.79 Canadian from Robert Blair. Better to go with emits plus a power node or LYDs plus a node?
I would prefer LYDs and a node. Just because I don't know why. They're going to be very similar. Yeah, I think the LYDs, I think the those amplifiers are perfectly married for the speakers, and I think you probably would have a possibility of a little bit more amplitude out of the emits with the power node, but it's going to be at ear-piercing volume. So yeah, I like the node and LYDs.
Colby B83 on Instagram says he picked up some in-wall Dynaudio during the audio sale.
Ooh, good.
Do you recommend any kind of treatment behind the speaker in the wall?
They're really designed to use the wall as a baffle and then use the cavity in the wall for as your box, and so you don't need to. But if you did have the ability to like frame it out and then put some like polyfill in the wall, I'm sure it would work well. No, I would say just cut the hole and throw it in there. Good to go.
We have a longish question here from Kevin on Instagram, Kevin Nickens. Hey, Matt, I want to hide my speakers in my living room for a 5.1 setup.
Okay.
My dad is a cabinet builder, so we're going to build a custom TV stand.
Sweet.
In order to hide the front left, front right, and center speakers, I'm considering putting Evoke 20s or LYD 48s in the TV stand with acoustically transparent grill cloth.
Smart.
So they are visually hidden.
Yep.
I'm worried that if I do that, my speaker placement will be terrible and it won't sound good. They would be in an enclosed TV stand that would be so close to the floor. Alternatively, I'm considering installing the Dynaudio Performance Series in walls for LRC. Any thoughts on what to do for high-performance hidden speakers?
Yeah, if you're gonna have to, like, if you were building the cabinet and they could be up, normal left and right of the TV, then I'd say, yeah, just do bookshelves. What you would do is you'd plug the port on the bookshelf, and then you'd put it as close as to the grill and in your enclosure as possible. But if you're gonna have to put them down on the floor, then you're gonna want to do some in-wall stuff, and that's where I'm really interested in possibly doing something similar to what he's talking about in my family room, and doing the S series, the S4 LCR stuff. It's way cool. So you would do like they have a separate mid tweeter and then separate woofer, little speaker. And so if you look at it, if you go to the Dynaudio site and look at the left, center, right, the studio monitor series, then you could design your cabinet to where you'd have and I would set it up. This is get pretty expensive, but I would set it up to where you have the woofer tweeter and then woofers next to those on the left and right. And so if it was like 2 by 4, it was 16 on center, you'd put one, you put the tweeter woofer in the middle, and then in the next set of studs you'd go woofer, and then next to the TV you would do the same thing where you go tweeter mid bass driver and then the woofer combination. So you hit me up, Matt at obsessedgarage.com, and I'll share with you what that could look like. That with a subwoofer then down low inside of the enclosure behind a grill. that's the way to go. And then we do, in-ceiling speakers or in-wall speakers for the rears.
jcron206 on Instagram wants to know how many Ego stubby attachments are left out of the first 1,000 coming in. I'm glad you asked. I look it up. So we've sold 972. That would leave 28. So if you're wanting one of those, there are 28 left on our first initial order. And you can also grab the blower band while you're at it. Good question. Thanks, jcron. I'd almost forgotten about that. Garasami says, hey, Matt and Chris, how concerned do I need to be about water spotting when the Florida afternoon showers start up in the summer and my car is parked outside uncovered while at work? Car is PPF'd with Expel and coated with Halo.
I don't think it'll be too bad. We don't get a lot of that sunny sprinkle stuff. So I think it'll be fine. I mean, my car's out here, and usually when it rains, it floods the whole county, destroys everything. So if you're in Florida, we don't get a lot of that just sort of drizzle stuff. It rains like the world is ending every time. So you'll be fine.
All right, Henry Nicholas Collins says he's sad that he can't listen today, but Merry Christmas to the OG crew. Hope Santa brings you all the Crinslers you need. Thanks, Henry. AJ Robbo wants to know, hey, Matt, what is your favorite Christmas song? I can just picture you dancing around the garage singing All I Want for Christmas Is You and trying to hit that high note.
I don't have one.
I like Oh Holy Night by Mariah Carey.
I'm starting to like, what's the one that's taken a bad rap or it's like misogynistic or whatever? That's now my new favorite because you freaking losers get a life. Nat King Cole or something like that?
I forget. They'll tell us in the chat.
It's like the dude's propositioning the girl or something like that.
Yeah, I forget about that.
Bunch of freaking
Maybe
sissies.
It's cold outside. I think that's what.
Yeah. That's my new favorite song.
Just for spite.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Let's see. Wood splitter. We have our friend Rephrased. Says back in the day he stacked many ricks of woods from when we used our wood fireplace in northwest Arkansas. We lived out in the country.
Yep, I've done many of wood
that real man
splitting.
stuff.
It's terrible. I hated it, but we do it for whatever $5 an hour or whatever, and for all the people because most people where I grew up, we'd either have coal or you'd have wood.
Let's see. Mike J says he's going to be doing PPF on his Cayman GTS.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts on SunTech reaction film? Apparently, it has ceramic coating properties. Is this a gimmick?
Well, they all have a top coat now, and so it will work probably for a little while. But you'd still want to probably top that. You have to find out, people, find out detailers who's kind of tested what works with that, because I don't know what works on that that SunTech stuff.
Richard L wants to know, hey, is there any OG spec dog food for Chase?
He's got that. What is it? I don't know. Stuff from Target. It's looks like a loaf, like a bologna loaf. That's what he gets. It's bougie stuff.
A bologna loaf from Target.
It's called fresh something or other.
Do you have to slice it? Or
yeah. It's probably like $20. It's like a tube. It's got vegetables in it, carrots, and it's got all kinds of meats, all ground up. Yeah, that's a bougie dog, man.
That's funny. Let's see. We got any other good questions? Good. He's looking forward to winning the E92. Is that a giveaway? I think we mentioned that earlier.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
We'll dig into that deep probably by next week.
Next week?
Yeah, or maybe the following. You'll see. It's going to be freaking sick.
Let's see. Would you use ammo products, Tristan wants to know, if you could resell them?
No. I bought them all and tried them out, and it's good. I mean, it's decent, but it none of the stuff would supplant what I'm currently using. At least I don't think. I mean, CS had some new stuff since then that I haven't tried, but yeah, I mean, the one product I was really interested in, I tried to convince him, was Hydrate, but Hydrate is a wax and doesn't really work very well on a coating. Maybe he's reformulated at this point, but his stuff is designed to work as a system, and but it's it's a blended product from somewhere like Warner or something like that, I'm sure. And Larry's plan or his structure, he doesn't sell through any resellers, he sells direct. But I don't think if there was something I absolutely loved, I would just use it and tell you to go get it. but there isn't.
Let's see. We have a question from Mike in the chat. Have you considered if there's any influence on autopilot if you apply ceramic coating on the windshield? The manual says you should not apply.
You're talking about Tesla?
It's like a Tesla, yeah. Autopilot.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that, and it doesn't seem to have affected it all for me.
Rob H says, did you see that Larry from Ammo is redoing his epoxy floors for the 5th time now?
He'll be doing it for a 6th, I guarantee it. Yeah, epoxy's a battle that you don't really want to have. And the one they chose to do as one of two options, one of two problems. Either it's going to fail, and it doesn't look very good in person. I can promise you that. When you roll the urethane top coat, which is the protective layer, you can see all the roller marks. Because when you don't have the chip system, that's taking your attention away from the roller marks, you can see it, as they roll it out. And if they do a really good job, it can be okay. But regardless, it looks like when you roll out a sheen on a wall and you don't do a very good job of it. And so you see all the roller marks on the floor. In photos, it looks great. But in person, it generally looks pretty terrible, for at least anything closer than 10 feet. I know because I had that exact same floor. And then I've seen that floor, I thought maybe mine was just bad. Every one I've ever seen looks identical or even worse. So one of two things is going to happen. If they did a urethane top coat and they did an anti-skid in it, then that anti-skid is going to start to get all dirty. The anti-skid is sand that they put in there, really fine sand. And then that makes it like impossible to clean, and it just holds on to dirt and gets all dirty and grimy and weird looking. The other, if they didn't put anti-skid in it, then it's going to be a really, really slick, really slippery. So we didn't do anti-skid in mine, and Ryan, when he was little, he was probably 2, would bust his head like twice a day, and I'd go skidding across the floor, even if it was just a little bit of water. So it's it's one of those things that it looks great in sort of in photos, but it's it's problematic. The only way for you to find out is you got to try it. So he just won't do it again. You'll see. But I wouldn't listen either. I'd be like, well, let me do it. Let me try it. But I've been telling people this forever. I see it like one post a month or a week in the Facebook group. Hey, what anybody think about this metal epoxy system? I'm telling you, people just think that I'm disgruntled because I want to sell some Swisstrax. How I found out about Swisstrax is I had to cover it up. I don't want Swisstrax to be the solution. It just is. So I don't know what to tell you. You do some, the other options. You do a really high-end burnishing, and then you just have to find expertise to do that, or you do a really fancy tile. The disadvantage to anything outside of Swisstrax, though, is that you're always having to sweep it all the time. You have to vacuum it, or you have to blow it out, because the dirt doesn't have anywhere to go but to sit right on the surface, and so then you're always vacuuming it, which can be fine in a large garage, but there's just not. The garage is a really tough spot for flooring. And epoxy is not the solution. I'm freaking telling you guys. I've been telling you this forever. If it was, I'd be trying to figure out how I'm going to sell you an epoxy solution. But it's just not. It's just failure, guaranteed failure, ready to fail.
We have a UK listener here, Jamie Evo. Says, have you ever heard of or tried Built-Hamber products? They're very popular here in the UK, and I highly rate them.
Yeah, I've only heard them from John Forensic, one of my favorite channels, the Forensic Detailing channel. But I've actually had a conversation with what's his name, Kurt Hamber, or what's the guy, Pete Hamber, I think his name is, the owner, and he's just not real industrious. He's not super ambitious, and so I know somebody brought it over here to the U.S. I think I haven't tried any of this stuff, but it's one of those things that I'd like to try at some point, and be able to hopefully sell them if I found something I really love. Their clay bar is supposed to be really good, and there's a couple other products that are great, from what I understand, but no, I haven't tried it, but I am very familiar with it.
Richard L. wants to know, are you going to supercharge the old E92 just
No.
to try it out?
We actually talked about that yesterday, but yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Jack Boudreau wants to know, hey Matt, are you excited for the new lift that Mike dug out and tiled? Looking like the lift will fit in nice and tight.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Have it there, nice and out of the way. You can drive over it. Easier to get on it. That's freaking sweet. I'm pumped.
Frank L. wants to know, what's the OG closet recommendation, if there is one?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that a lot. it's unfortunate. I think it's got to be a custom wood, because the California closet, all that pressboard stuff is just not good. So I think I'm going to pursue having a cabinet maker actually make real wood cabinets in the closets.
Let's see. We have Miss M Cropper 03. Excuse me. I bought my power tools before finding the OG way. Should I ditch my yellow brand items and join the Red Army? Anything positive to say about the yellow brand's items to soothe my poor decisions?
Yeah, the wall stuff is not bad. I mean, I like the fit finish. I like the options. I like the battery is better from Milwaukee. But depending on how deep you're into it, if you have 3 or 4 tools, 4 or 5 tools, maybe I'd punt and go to Milwaukee. But if you've got 20, it's fine.
All right, Hollers says, just got the OG wand and gun to replace the MTM that I got 4 years ago. The difference in quality is noticeable in literally every area.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Nice, thanks. Rob H says, Swisstrax has reduced the amount of dust that accumulates on stuff in my garage by a lot. It's kind of like grit guards in our buckets. The dust settles below the Swisstrax and stays underneath.
It doesn't matter how, what's his name said that?
Rob H.
It doesn't matter how many ways you show it, how many different ways you say it. You can do whatever. You can show it, say it, demonstrate it, show it, and people still don't believe you. Got dirt. I mean, that's the whole point of it. Is magical with dirt. That's what's so good about it. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it.
I'm going to do that in the next OGHQ tour video. I'm just going to dump dirt all over Swisstrax, and we'll show you how it works. Mike wants to know, how do you clean your Swisstrax floor garage? I live in snowy climate. I get the garage dirty, salty, and full of water every day. Do you need to remove them to get the water out?
No, I mean, the water should run, if your floor is pitched. You could suck it up through a shop vac, but I just leave it there, and then, a couple times a year, just pull them out. If you have a nice day in the middle of the winter, just pop them out and vacuum up and clean up and, just pressure wash them off. But then, in the spring, and just pop the whole center section of the floor out, clean the thing, and you got to work for it more. Just like you'd have to work for tile or epoxy or bare concrete if you are in a climate like that. But yeah, that's just what you'd have to do.
Richard L. says, what happens if you accelerate or brake too hard on Swisstrax? You probably got bigger problems if you're accelerating.
Yeah, you're going to pop the tiles off, and they're going to go shooting somewhere.
You're going to make a mess in your garage.
Yep.
Epiphany Detailing says, did the Dream Garage have a drain under the lift? Would you ever consider a wash bay with a recessed lift?
No, it doesn't, and I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I guess maybe it'd be more useful if you're up north, but I'd be inclined to. We'll be do dry ice cleaning if you're going to do that, but. You could do it. I mean, your lift is certainly going to require more maintenance and probably not last as long. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd do that. But never say never. Maybe if you have a wash bay with a lift in it, maybe it's great.
Garrett Mason says, I know you haven't been riding much lately, but have you considered a 1-Up bike rack for the Raptor? They're pretty legit.
That's what I have. I have a 1-Up. The black
Garrett.
one.
Let's see. No other good questions around here. Oh, we have one comment from Jeffrey Robert, although you said you haven't really used it. But Build Hambur's SurfX HD is great. So
yeah.
Maybe worth exploring. All right, so that's all the questions we got for today. Thank you for all the super chats and all the questions and keeping us going here. We definitely appreciate that. Enjoy your Christmas, New Year's, all that good stuff. I won't be here next week, but I think we might do the Mike and Maddie podcast on Thursday next week. We'll see how that goes.
Cool. See you guys then.
Thanks, everyone. We appreciate it.
I still got this hat on.
It's so comfortable. You didn't even notice.
Yeah, it's great. High quality.